Hello. I'm here. Welcome. Reno Vandermeer. It's just us. Nice to have you on board. All right. Let's have a look and see what is going on. It's quiet, huh? That means we're probably going up. When it gets busy, we're probably going down. That's usually the trend. When I get lots of viewers, we're probably going down. When I get no viewers, we're going up. That's usually how it happens. That's what I've noticed. So the less the better, I guess. All right, let's have a look at this. Ooh, let's just hide some things. Da, 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 da. What do I want to do today? Let's just chill. Chart. How are you? How's everyone? If you're here for the first time, welcome. If you've returned, welcome back. Feel free to say hi so I know who's here. It'll be fun to chat. I like to chat. Just hide some things. Get rid of that. Hide these things. Let's just look at candles. I like to look at candles. But there's a few more people here. Welcome. Okay. Let's just have a look at the candles, huh? It's good to look at the candles. Let's hide the volume. Let's just look at candles for a second. Wow, look at that. We're at a monthly level now. Look at that. We're right back at this monthly level. We've already hit it once, so it's washed. Because we went up, then we went down, and now we're coming back up again. So it's not the same as if we went down and came up. We went up first. Look at that 3 monthly candle. We're going up. We're above the 3 monthly open close. 3 monthly open. Yeah, look at that. We went down and we've come up. So it's quite a strong candle. You don't really want to go down underneath the previous 3 monthly candle open again, do you? I think that would be quite bearish to go back down now that we've gone down and we've come back up. You kind of want to continue going up. Same with the 6 month. See that? Same with the 6 month. Same with the 12 month. See that? We've already gone down now. Huh? It looks like it. We've gone down. Now 12 month you can't tell because it's a long period. Same with the 6 month. You can't really tell. But maybe the 3 month, there's a clue. And 2 month, there's a little bit of a clue. Because we've already gone down. Now we're going back up. Gone down. Taken the monthly candle low. Do you see that? We've gone down and we've taken the low. It's really important in candles to take the low and then go back up. It doesn't always happen in 1 month. See here, this month took the candle low and then it tried to go back down and it couldn't. It doesn't always happen in 1 month, but in this case, maybe this is enough. Maybe that's enough. Sometimes you don't get it. Sometimes you get it like this again. See, you take the low. That's very similar to here, isn't it? Very similar to here. Didn't take the low here. Took the low from here. See, it's very similar, huh? Look, it's happened a few times. this is a failed auction, but this is more like a monthly swing failure, monthly swing failure. That's like a monthly swing failure of that candle. So it's good to take the lows. It's very good to take the lows. It gives us a chance to go up. Let me have a look at the index quickly so I can go back in Bitcoin's history. It's actually quite unique, huh, that we've taken the low here on the way up, because here you see we put in higher lows, but we did take the low there before it went up. So it takes the lows. These are red candles. And take the lows. It's good to take the lows. Taking the lows is good. Take the lows and then you go up. Maybe that's where we are actually. Look, see that? Let me compare it. Yeah, possibly taking the lows. Took the monthly low there with a green candle in 1 month. Again, that took 2 months because you had the intermediary month that dropped and then you had the liquidity grab. So this is actually quite a unique situation because you've got a green candle potentially. We have to see how this candle ends. So it's hard to tell exactly how it's going to end because we're not at the end of the month yet. Right, let me go back to this chart. Go to the 2 monthly. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, that's fine. Let me go to slightly lower, so 4 weeks. Okay, 4 weeks. So slight difference between 4 weeks and a month. See that slight difference? T13 Waifu. Welcome T13. I can certainly have a look at Waifu. Let me just kind of analyze Bitcoin if you don't mind, and then I'll go straight to your Waifu. This is a 4 weekly candle chart. It's very nice, isn't it? It's very nice because you had a really you had a kind of a poor close, went down all the way down, take the 2 candle lows, and we're right back above the midpoint of that candle. It's quite bullish. It's a bullish reaction from the lows. I do like it. At the moment I like it. Let's go to 2 weeks. How many? 5 days left on this. This is gonna, it'd be interesting to see if this 2 week candle closes green. If it closes green, it's really bullish because it'll be a higher close. Yeah, so you've got this 2 week candle, you've got this 2 week candle high. If you get a green candle and it closes higher, that's a continuation candle. It's just with a swing failure. So it's actually, you're probably looking for continuation if you do close higher on this 2 week candle. So by the end of Sunday we'll know. Slurf, Ali Hash, welcome, nice to see you. So far we're seeing some good things. Good evening, Altcoin Dreaming. All right, so we have a few people here. We have at least 2, 3, 4, but it says concurrent viewers 3, so I have no idea. Is Reno still here? I'm assuming yes, but I have no idea. I wish it would just tell me. It doesn't tell me. I'm okay with so far the candles are looking quite good. Got up for more upside. Do I have 10 days here? Yeah, I've got 10 days. So interesting candles. That actually, this candle is really good. So This red 10-day candle couldn't close lower. The next candle took the liquidity from the lows, went all the way up, closed higher than the low, and then the next candle went all the way to the lows, and it's pushing up. So all these candles are really nice bullish reactions from the lows, and at the moment they haven't finished yet, so we're probably looking for higher. Just looking at these candles, it'd be very unusual for them to now fall down since we've just taken the lows. It'd be very unusual to go down. Yeah, nothing is impossible in crypto. Oh, there you are. It's weird though. It says concurrent viewers 3, but there's I can see now there's 4 people here, so it's really weird. YouTube buggy as ever. It's another 6 days on that candle. Let's go to the weekly candle now. Let's look at the weekly candle again. This red candle was really, in my mind, it was bearish, and so it did go down. Remember I said when this weekly candle closed on Sunday night, I said this is really bad. It's a really bad candle. Why was that red candle bad? Because that week we took the highs and we closed lower. We took the lows and the highs in that candle. We closed lower than 50% of the previous candle body. That green candle body closed lower, so it wasn't a bullish enough reaction, and so immediately we went down straight. We went down, took the range low, bullish reaction, and now we're working our way back up. Effectively we're still range bound. So that's the thing I was always saying. I was always saying that these are all inside candles. They're range bound candles on one of these previous candles. Which candle is holding the range at the moment? Probably, looking at it, probably on the weekly time frame, this candle here, this green candle here. You can see we're kind of locked. Every single candle that's come after this candle has closed within the range of that candle. You see that? And obviously this week's candle hasn't finished yet, but you see that all of these candles are range locked. They're range locked within the range of this candle. Yeah. So it's not going to go down until you lose this candle, because that's the candle that's holding the range, right? At the moment, arguably you could say that this candle was holding the range, and then this was a failed auction above the range, closed higher, closed back lower, lost the range, and you arguably could say this is the candle here that's holding the range. Okay, so you're in kind of two ranges at the moment. That one takes us to 100k. Okay, so again, 100k is going to act as resistance. It's not going to we're not just going to walk through 100k, I don't think, in one go. It doesn't make any sense for us to do that. You can always wick above, but the closes are important when you're looking at higher time frame candles. Yeah, it isn't just about the wicks, it's also about the closes. But when it comes to the range, you can look at the wicks as the extent of the range, and so that's why I've been saying that the range is, or was, and I marked it out, range high, range low, didn't I? I marked it out. I was just basing it from the bottom of that candle to the top of that candle, which is the all-time high. Okay, that's why I said that's the range low, that's the range high, because once we came into the range, after we came into the range of this green candle, that was the low and that was the high of the range, and right now we are still within the range. When you're within the range, you can't get bearish, and you actually can't, at the highs you can't get bullish, because you're still range bound. Yeah, so what people don't understand about ranges is, or the price action, is that most of the time it's range bound. Yeah, and every time frame has its parameters of the range. And obviously when you're looking at a higher time frame, weekly candles, you're looking at these higher time frame ranges, and that's your range at the moment. At the moment we're up, down, probably up to the top of the range. Yeah, probably, because that's just how the price moves. It goes from the top to the bottom, back to the top, back to the bottom, back to the top, whatever. Okay, we had that here for a large period of time. So here we had a range. It went down, it went up, little failed auction, tried to go back up, lower high, another failed auction, and then it went up. So it was a bit messy at the lows, but it was still kind of range bound. We did lose the range. We lost the range twice. You could argue that the range dropped the second time, and so as we kind of came back up, you could argue that that was the range. There was a new range, and you couldn't close back underneath the low of the range. You could wick under, but you couldn't close, and because you couldn't close, it went back up. Okay, so it kind of, the range was actually, it was pushed further out. Maybe that wasn't the range low, maybe that was, this was the range low. Maybe you could argue, if you go to a slightly higher time frame, 2 weeks time frame, we look at this candles, maybe actually the range was initially set by this first green candle on the 2 weekly time frame. You see that? There. So that initial 2 weekly candle created the range, and for a large portion of the time we're at the top of the range, and then eventually it had to go to the bottom to find support, and then it went right back to the top, and then it just had a breakout, and now we're in a new range. Okay, slightly different because that was a massive expanding candle, and the price just ranged in that 2 week candle for a long period of time. Here it's slightly different, isn't it? It's not the same as before, slightly different. So at the moment I'm just kind of looking at this on the weekly time frame, and I'm just taking it from this candle here. At the moment we're inside that candle, this kind of green candle at the moment. Doesn't really help, does it? But it does give you context, because people are getting bearish. They're thinking, oh, we're going down, we're going down. Well, actually, until we lose the range, we're not. Okay, and even if you lose the range, you kind of need to back test the range low for continuation to the downside. You can't just go down. You have to kind of reject on a back test on a slightly higher time frame. It could be a wick, huh? But that's determined by closes, and so the closes are really important when you're looking at candles, especially the higher time frame ones. So look at the 3 day candles. 3 days actually quite interesting. It's a quite interesting candles, because you have got this really bearish engulfing candle. Now it closed lower than a lot of these candles, isn't it? Okay, but actually, again, same thing, it's kind of still within this green candle, huh? So even though it closed below some of these candles, just still kind of range bound. You're still range locked by this candle. Everything that comes after it is an inside candle, a small failed auction above this, close out, close back under, then the price just started to drop. Yeah, it started to go down. The minute you couldn't get higher, it started to go down, and now we're just kind of, we've tested the bottom of the range, taken the liquidity, the price is going back up because it just can't go down anymore. So now it's going up. There is logic to it. Again, you see the 2 day time frame. Similarly, got that candle, it's kind of holding the price. So if you want to kind of squish it down to 2 days, that's your big resistance on this 2 day candle. So it is possible we go all the way up to 103, 104 just to get to the top of that candle. We're kind of in that candle, aren't we? Everything has come in that candle apart from that one, and then you've got this rejection. It's just food for thought, just kind of giving context. Right now, this 2 day candle, it closes in 1 hour and 26. It's a fucking bullish candle, really bullish candle. Yeah, there's no way that you can, I mean, you could short that. You can short anything, but I wouldn't, because it's closed higher. You've actually rejected from the lows. You've taken the liquidity from the lows, and this 2-day candle is now closing higher than the previous 2 candles. You see that? It's closing into the body of this red candle. Usually, yeah, it's not 100%. It's about probabilities. Usually when you get a candle like this that closes in the body of this red candle, you see this big long red expanding candle, this bearish engulfing. Usually if you get a close above these wicks into the candle, then that candle fills all the way to the top. Yeah, it might take a few days, yeah, but usually when you get a close inside of the body above these wicks, so if you close underneath this wick, if we close now underneath this wick, that wouldn't be good, yeah. But because now we're about to close above these wicks, first this previous candle, and now this is 2 candles. Usually what happens is now the price is looking to fill that candle, probably all the way up to the top. So that's about 102. That's just a mini kind of easy target when it comes to candles. Very easy target, because now we're looking to fill the whole of that red candle all the way up to the top. Yeah, there's nothing in the way, is there? It's just one big candle to fill. It's the most recent candle after we've come back up the previous drop. You see here, it didn't do that. You had this drop, you had this candle in this wick, and you see it failed to close above the wick there. You see that? Failed. And because it couldn't close higher, immediately you got rejection. Yeah, so it's a different situation. This is a very different situation. Shmoo, welcome. So I'm just kind of helping people see candles, and maybe in a slightly different way. You know, you've got all these patterns and etc., but now you can maybe look at candles as ranges. Every candle is a range, and on the time frame that you're looking at, and depending on how it closes, depending on the previous candle, the most nearest candle, you can determine if it wants to go up or if it wants to reverse. And so kind of what I was saying here, isn't it? You see here, when I said I wanted a close, remember when we were all the way down here, we were like really bearish, had a little live stream. I said, come on guys, we need to close above that wick. And the minute it did, remember I said, I posted in Discord and I said, I think we can go up now. And because it closed within the wick, it didn't close lower, so it wasn't a continuation candle. It was looking to reverse just based on that idea. And actually what ended up happening is it went up to fill that red candle all the way to the top. Obviously it got rejected, but that was your range. That candle was the range. It just went back up to fill that candle. Couldn't get into this candle, got rejected, and now look where we are. We're coming back up at the top of the range of this candle. Is really bullish, actually, really bullish. Just looking at these candles, I'm expecting continuation. This is a daily time frame. We've got a couple of hours, no, 1.5 hours to go, so I'm not expecting us to drop before candle close. And it's really bullish. Why is it bullish? Well, you've pretty much, you filled all that candle, but you've closed above these wicks and you've closed halfway above the body, so it's quite a bullish close compared to all the previous candles. And the main thing is that we're closing higher above these wicks. That's really bullish. Now the next candle could just go up. Usually in crypto it does, but actually what can happen, it can go down a little bit before it goes up, and you get these kind of nice backtest wicks on the next daily candle. And then that's why when you look at these candles, you get these little wicks. You see here, this is a bullish reversal candle here, because it closed lower and then it closed back up above the 50%, and then it went all the way down, filled the candle, it went up, etc. So it's just good to see these things slightly different. It kind of adds context to your bias when you're looking at the direction of where the price is moving. If you look at where the candles close with respect to previous candles, and I'm always looking at horizontals because that's how candles are formed, based on horizontal lines. Yeah, I'm not too bothered about diagonal trend lines and channels and that kind of shit. I'm more interested in the horizontals and how the price wicks and how the price closes. Now wicks are subjective, but closes aren't. And so when it comes to wicks, sometimes you can be fooled depending on the exchange that you're using to chart. Yeah, because they'll be different on different exchanges, because it's basically about the liquidity of the exchange where wicks form. But when it comes to the close, generally speaking, it's not as subjective. It's more absolute, although it's still relative to the exchange, but they're better indicators. So, and you can compare them if you want, but I mean, I use Bybit inverse perpetuals because I think it's the most accurate, less wiki. So when you get wicks, they're actually correct. That being said, remember when we were going down and Bybit took the range low and it didn't on Binance, and in Discord I posted and I said, well, it's taken the range low and Bybit hasn't on Binance, so I'm expecting it to go down again because it has to clean the lows on all the exchanges. So sometimes you can get a little bit of divergence, which gives you the idea that actually you're still going down or you're still going up. Bitcoin Dreaming sharing something. Let's see what it is. Yes, he's in a long. He's in a long. I haven't closed my long, so I'm still in the long. Let's have a look at Altcoin Dreaming's long trade that he's in now. Cluster entry 1, CVD absorption 2, cluster entry 2. Sellers are failing to close. Yeah, you see, closes are really important. Close below POC. Buyers are easily closing above point POC. I think the most important thing here is the CVD. The CVD is important. Also, as Altcoin Dreaming is rightly indicated, the point of control is really important. And at the moment, it's not acting as support or resistance, but what's happening is the buyers are pushing it up through the point of control. They're not too bothered about it. They're not actually selling at the point of control. They're not really bothered about it. And they're just absorbing the price and just pushing it higher and higher and higher. And you're getting a quite nice absorption here. CVD absorption is really important in either direction, whether it's bearish or bullish. It's really important. You can't ignore it. And here you can see that the CVD is going down. That means the market selling is continuing, but the price just keeps on going sideways or keeps on going up. So he's in a long. I actually, when you posted that, you know what I did? I added to my long, just longed a bit more, even though I haven't actually closed. And he's saying, I was talking about candle POC, yellow boxes. Oh, yes, correct. So you've got a different method, huh? It's quite interesting. All right, so not the actual POC, you're talking about previous candle points of control. Yeah, so correct. This is actually new to me, but he's talking about the price closing above the previous candle point of control easily. And so therefore, the buyers are pushing the price up, even though that, so you've got bullish divergence because the CVD is going down, but the candles are closing above the previous candle points of control, which are these yellow boxes. So it's actually quite, I like that. I really like that. I like that you look at that. You're doing that. It's really nice. We have the same idea. Usually it starts with a short squeeze and then you get the longs pile in when after they see the reaction. Yeah. And then they start longing late, and that's when the price crashes or something. Anyway, so that's just a little bit of kind of information. I like everything that I'm seeing. The 12-hour candle, it's nicer. It's still good. Yeah, these candles can always reverse, but in the context of the daily closing higher, in the context of everything, it's a bullish candle because it looks like it wants to close green above the previous candle high. So that's quite bullish. It's gone down, filled as much of the gap as possible. There's still a little bit of a gap there. Filled as much of the gap as possible, and it's closing higher. You see this 4-hour red, you see that was a red candle. It's quite bearish. You see it went down, and then you got a swing failure of the low, of the candle low, and the price came right back up. So you had a bullish reaction. So it could have gone down, and if you would have ended up with another red, if this one had ended up with another red, then we'd probably be going down now. Very different situation from where we're in now, because if you would have taken the candle low and you'd closed red, that would have been a bearish close, and in this context we would have probably been going down. So you can actually look at these candles and form your bias based on how they close and what color they are, but you have to be kind of on it. You've got to be on the ball when you're looking at these and not be indecisive. So anyway, let's just go to what I normally do, is just update the volume. I'm just kind of, sorry, I got a little bit distracted. It's fun to be distracted sometimes. So when I say it's going up or down, I'm usually, what I'm doing is I'm looking at the candles, yeah, first. And the more you look at them, the more you just see it. I'm going to delete everything soon because my chart is full of mess. 98k, yeah. Still prints. Oh, that's interesting. We have this bull market channel. Let me have a look at that actually, because I'm quite interested in that. I marked this out before. This was an extension that I did from the original move. This is the original move to there. And I've just continued the extension. That's the 1-to-1. That's the 1.618. You see that? And this is the 2, right? What's interesting now is that we're above the 2 right now. And what's interesting is if you kind of zoom in a little bit, you see the 1-to-2 from the original move has been acting as a really nice SR flip. You see here the green line is the 1-to-2 on the highest time frame from the original Elliott wave 1. If you go all the way back, that's the move, and you've got the 1-to-2. So right now it's at 95, 579 thereabouts. And when you're looking at it now, look at it, see that? So we've actually flipped it back into support. That line, that's the 1-to-2 of the original move. It had acted as resistance. It didn't really do anything there. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But you can clearly see that line, which was there right from the beginning of this move last year, beginning of last year. This is actually now support, isn't it? So it would be quite bearish to lose it. That would be bearish. Just the context of what I'm talking about. If we go down there and flip it back into resistance, that would be quite bearish, wouldn't it? So we're not expecting that. So that would just give you really easy context of what is bearish in the context of where we are. If you just kind of close down there now, flip it into resistance, I think people would dump their positions, because also it's looking like that would look like a failed auction of these highs, and taking the low, you'd get a quick sell. People would start selling. If that starts to happen, I'm not saying it's going to happen, I don't think it will, but anything happens in crypto. If that happens, you're going all the way down. All the way down. Yeah. Very quickly. There's no support. We've created no support in this up move. Yeah, you see the way the price has moved. There's no support. None of this is support. You just, because what's happening is every time the price comes down, you're taking the liquidity to come up, and there's no more liquidity. That's why the price moves like that. That's why when you get these kind of grinding up, it looks good, but there's no support. Yeah. So if the price was to somehow drop there, you're going down, all the way down to the wick again. Okay, that would be your nearest support there in this context. So I think if we start losing 95.5, basically this low here, I wouldn't long that. I'd actually just dump all my longs and I'll probably start shorting, probably, because that would be really bad. That would look really bearish. I'm just giving you an idea of what could be bearish. All right. I'm not really expecting that. Right, let me just pull the volume. Get rid of that. Don't need that for now. That's what we want. Let's just pull this. This is the range. This is the Trump pump range. Not much difference. Pretty much the same. No real change. We've come into the point of control. It's resistance until it's not, huh? So at the moment it's still resistance. So I'm not saying this is going to happen, but if we want to just continue being range bound here, it is possible for the price to go up, have a swing failure, reject, and go down. That is possible. It's definitely possible. Okay. So just because we're bullish doesn't mean you can't go up, have a swing failure of these highs. And what causes that? Well, look, you could get a squeeze. But what causes a swing failure is when you have longs who will take profit, and they take profit in market. Yeah, a squeeze normally means a market buying at the highs. Yeah, because people have their, like, if you're shorting this range, that's your invalidation, isn't it? The high. Because if you're shorting and you're bearish, you're not expecting the high to be taken. What you want is a breakdown. Yeah, that's why you short, because that's a very profitable trade if it breaks down. Because let's just say hypothetically you're shorting now, that's your risk, but once you have a breakdown, you're going all the way down. Yeah, so you have a really good risk to reward ratio of Satoshi One, welcome, of if the price was to drop. Very good risk to reward. And so naturally you wouldn't. So if people are shorting and you get squeezed, what ends up happening is at the highs here, you get stopped out. And when you get stopped out, you're market buying. Yeah, because if you're in a short now, let's say you're building a short position using limit orders. Yeah, because it's cheaper. It costs less to use limit orders than market orders, significantly less. So what you'll get is people will build shorts in a range like this, expecting lower. They'll have an invalidation, and invalidation would be the range high here above the point of control, because they've seen that the point of control has resisted the price and you're putting in lower highs. Okay, so that's quite, in a sense, that's quite bearish. And so they'll short, not expecting the range high to be taken. This is the range. And what happens is if you go up and you get squeezed, so basically when you squeeze the highs here, you're stopping out all the shorts. All the shorts we've built up in this range, suddenly market buy, because that's how they get stopped out. They don't limit buy, they market buy. Market buy pushes the price up, so you're buying at market, and so you suddenly get this sudden volume of market buying at the highs. Yeah, if you get market buying at the highs with a short squeeze at the highs, and then you see the price drop, what does that mean? Well, when it drops, it also means people are market selling. Yeah, and usually it'll be longs. So if someone's in a long here, they haven't taken profit yet. Yeah, or they've taken small profit, they've taken a little bit of profit, not all their profit, but they want to take profit. They're kind of tired. We've been long, it's sitting here for too long, I'm just tired, I just want to take my profit and go home. What they'll do is, as the price goes up, you'll get a lot of market buying because it'll be a squeeze, and then you'll suddenly get these big longs that go, okay, I'm going to market sell, and then you get a swing failure. Okay, that usually is not a good sign, huh? Because once you get a swing failure, then you suddenly get shorts enter, market shorts, because now you have a new invalidation, and then it's still the same idea. You're just shorting the high, and that's a new invalidation. You still have the same target. Yeah, so shorts get squeezed, and then if you see a swing failure because of the area that you're in, it's a really important area. It's the point of control. So if you see a swing failure at the point of control, especially if you get a close lower than the point of control, then it could be a recipe for disaster. But you know, it's about buyers versus sellers at the end of the day. You know, buyers could sometimes you get breakout longs. You get buyers who will see a short squeeze and then they long. Yeah, there's a lot of people in crypto who long breakouts. So if some big players waiting in the background and they see the price squeeze up, then they can long, and so sometimes you get this little fake out, but actually it's still going up. So it's not, again, as with everything, it's not 100%. That's why when you get an SFP, you let the price come down, and as it comes back up, then you have your invalidation, and then you short. You don't just short it. Some people do. The people who do short SFPs, they take profit very quickly. Yeah, they're not the kind of people, traders who, if you're going to trade an SFP in this context where the price action is bullish, where the market structure is bullish, yeah, they'll short, and as soon as the price comes down, they take profit very quickly. They'll make like 0.5%. That's all they're really aiming for, 0.5%, whatever, to there. They take profit, and guess how they take profit? At market. And so it's very and so usually if you get that and it struggles and it starts to come back down, that's when the big shorts start to enter, because then they have these initial shorts have taken profit. We've had an SFP. The price can't go back up, so you don't have these crazy longs. Just start market longing on the first pullback to keep on squeezing up, and that's actually a good recipe for a short. It doesn't always come to the golden pocket, but usually in a situation like that, if this is going to be bearish, usually it is back to the local golden pocket. You get a little local golden pocket rejection. Traders see that and they start market shorting, and then it becomes really bearish, because you're getting an SFP followed by a rejection, and then that's quite, if you see that, that's really bearish. That's not actually bullish. That's quite bearish. And then what you'll end up doing is you're going right back to the lows here. Like I said, if you start going down like that, it doesn't look good. It starts to look pretty miserable. You might get a swing failure, but then actually you could end up falling. Okay, so just be aware of what could happen in these areas. Yeah, it doesn't mean it's going to happen. Mujahid, welcome. It's going straight up horizontally, not coming down. So that's fine. I'm not worried by the current price action because I'm seeing massive bullish absorption. I'm just giving you some kind of ideas of bearishness at these levels. Because we're at the big level of point of control, there is a chance that we could reject here. Yeah, I don't want people to suddenly become bullish just because we're at the point of control. Yeah, we're underneath the point of control. Generally speaking, in an uptrend, this is now an uptrend. Consolidation, this is consolidation. Yeah, this, for me, this is consolidation. For me, this is an uptrend. We're in an uptrend. See that? This is an uptrend. Yeah, the downtrend is over. Why is the downtrend over? Because we're back above these highs. So we're now in an uptrend, aren't we? We haven't lost these highs. We're now consolidating above these highs. That's bullish. Yeah, and we're also consolidating underneath resistance, big resistance. That's also bullish. So in an uptrend, consolidation underneath resistance is bullish, right? Especially when you're seeing bullish divergences. But now you have to be careful, because if you go up, you have to squeeze up, flip that into support and go up. Yeah, you can't go up and come back down. Yeah, so because that will be a failure. It's bullish, but if you get a failure, it's a failure. Yeah, you just have to take it as it comes. So we're in a very interesting place, and the reason why it's interesting is this, and I'll explain. We've got this initial first 5-wave move. 1, 2, something like this, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And maybe that's a wave 1. We've got this ABC here, and this actually could be our first wave, huh? This little bit here, that could be our first wave, and this could be a little ABC here. That could be the first wave of the next wave, this little bit here. Yeah, it could be. Or what we could be experiencing here is another ABC, and the correction continues. It's a really bullish correction, but it totally could be this could still be corrective. It could be the first 5 waves, but it's still corrective. It doesn't mean we're going to go higher, especially if we reject here. Because if we reject here like this, down, we're going like that. It's another ABC. And actually this wasn't this could have been the first wave, or it might not be, you know, like it's the thing, like you just don't know. No one really knows what's going to happen. So it's good to kind of consider these things. When I had the original correction, I thought this was a little bit too early, didn't I? Now, I'm not saying we're going down, because I don't know. I still think we're probably more likely than not to go up, just because of the daily candles. That's where I'm getting my ideas from. But when I did this corrective, I kind of did think that this would be something like that. Or like that, with that. Yeah. And based on that, if that was a 1, 2, 3 there, could this actually be a 1, 2, 3 there, ABC there? And we're coming into, if we get rejected here, could we be coming down for another 1, 2, 3 there to complete this? I don't know. It's possible, huh? And that's, I'm just kind of, I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm just saying that if we come up here and now and reject, then just be aware, all right? Just be aware. Now, I think what needs to happen here is continued strength. Like, I don't want to see any weakness now that we're strong. I don't think this is weak. For me, this is consolidation underneath resistance. Now what we need to do is, let's just say hypothetically, and I mark this out. Where is it? It's so messy. I'm so lazy. There we go. Something like that. So we had our 1. This is like our 3, something like that. I haven't really done it. I haven't really tried to make it accurate. I've just kind of thrown out these points. That was our 5. ABC, could that be our first 5 wave, which is our 1? So there's your 1. Could that be our 1 of the next wave? Yeah, that's kind of where what I'm thinking right now. A possibility. Let me just change these colors. It does look like a running fat for continuation. That's why I have this idea. I think maybe this could be the first wave. I think so, because that was like an ABC. Someone asked me in Discord, is this it? Is this? And I said, if it's impulsive, it is. It could be. Yeah, it looks, there's like 5 waves, huh, in this little bit. It doesn't always have to be crazy. You can kind of see like there's a little bit 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe this is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you've got the last 5 there. and that's your first wave. And now this is like a flat correction, and we could have our next wave 1 2 3 4 5. We get another 5 waves here. That will be our 3, and then we've got a 5 to complete our 3. And where's the target? That's a question. That's a good question, isn't it? And then the 4 and a 5. That could be much higher, huh? If this wants to be really bullish, we have to see how this plays out. Or it could be, or what else could it be? No, that's right. Or we reject and we go back down, and actually all of this is just vanity. We're actually in an 8. We're still correcting. This whole thing is just one big correction. Yeah, and we're just kind of trying to make something which doesn't exist, because you can get impulsive corrections, right? But at the moment it looks like maybe that was 1 2 3 4 5 there. Maybe there's a little kind of flat correction going on here of this first wave. The bullish market structure is intact at the moment. We're getting bullish absorption. Everything's looking bullish, and so just based on this idea, where's the 2 start? Don't know if it's a flat. 3 4 5 to complete this. We'd have to see if we get 5 waves, and how strong they are or how weak they become. Yeah, do they get weaker as they go up, or is this 3 going to be quite strong? Does this 3 reject at 98, which is a big level? That would be probably a weaker 3, and then you could get a back test on this point of control. We have to see. That would be good to get a back test there and to complete this 3 like that. Let me just change that to red. Change that back to blue, just so you can see the difference in the colors. So we've done this first wave. That's your 1 for a flat, which is a 2. Another 5 waves to do our 3. Could we stop at 98? Is it going to be bigger than this first wave, or is it going to be smaller? If it's bigger, then we're probably going all the way up to 100 straight up. Yeah. If we just immediately get rejected at 98, then it could be smaller. Then you'll end up with another smaller 5. That would end your 3. If that happens, then this is going to be more like this. And then it's going to be more like that, isn't it? And you've completed your wave 1. See that? So we have to see. We don't know. It depends on this next wave, this next 3. If we can break through in one go and smash through that 98. Feel that there's a bunch of single prints here. There's quite a big resistance area at 98. So if you're looking to take profit, that's probably a good place to take profit at around 98. Where are the single prints? They're really important. Now these are gone now, so just delete these. There they are. So this is a question, because if you can go up now straight and smash those single prints and just correct like that, you could actually fill the single prints with the last wave, and you could end up with a 3 like that to bounce off there, and then you've got another correction, maybe back down to the Trump point of control. Then you've got a 5, and then you're finishing your first wave, and then again you're looking for A, B, C correction, whatever. It could be flat, it could be zigzag, it could be something else. But I think by the time we get up to about 100k, if we do get to 100k, if we overshoot, it's exhausted, isn't it? This whole move becomes exhausted with the first wave. We're not expecting this to just keep on going and going and going. That's not what we're expecting. Now, if it sometimes looks like it does, but the reason why it does is because you get flat corrections. Yeah, you get flat corrections. It looks like it keeps on going and going and going, but the reason why it looks like that is because you're getting flat corrections. Yeah, but the reality is we're not expecting flat corrections all the way. At some point you're going to get a zigzag. Right? Usually when you get flats, one of the corrections is a zigzag. Yeah, so but the rules have to apply. So let's just say that becomes a zigzag and we come all the way down here. We lose the point of control, get everyone bearish, and you finish the wave 5. I don't know. I don't really know how this is going to play out, to be honest with you. It all depends. You just have to see what happens as you reach your target. So right now, possibly we've had our first wave here, possibly. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is looking like possibly it's flat. Some kind of flat, and like I said, I don't want to come underneath this pivot now, because I think that would look really bearish if we lost this range here, and then I would be thinking, okay, this is all vanity. This wasn't 5, maybe it was 5 waves, but then it's actually the first A, this is the B, and actually we've got another ABC to go down, because actually the move is going to start from here. And this was just like the warm-up act or something, you know, and it's happened before. So you just got to be aware of it. If things go bearish, don't just hope for higher, just react correctly. Okay, so I don't really want to take this pivot here. I think losing these highs, taking this pivot now wouldn't look good. Yeah, it's not what I'm expecting, considering that we're seeing bullish CVD. And also don't forget that if you take out this low, it invalidates the bullish CVD. All that bullish CVD we're seeing is only valid as long as the price doesn't take the low. The minute the price takes this low, any bullish CVD that's formed in this range is invalidated, because the price is then suddenly made a lower low. And actually what that would suggest is that the CVD is leading. Yeah, it doesn't always happen. Again, everything is about probabilities. Its probability is that we go up because we have bullish CVD. The minute you put in a lower low, that invalidates the bullish CVD, and the bullish CVD doesn't exist. Then what are you trading? Why are you longing? You shouldn't be. You should be getting out of your longs, and waiting for new bullish CVD to form. Okay, type thing. So possibly we're in some kind of flat. I'd like to see us not reject from the top here and impulse. And impulse, you'll see it because it's always got some kind of increasing volume, usually, not always. Usually, like here it has, you can see it. See how the price goes up with a little bit of increasing volume, a little bit of increasing volume, a little bit of increasing volume here. See, that's what you want to see when you see the price go up impulsively. You want to see increasing volume. Then when you see corrections, you want to see decreasing volume. That's what you want to see with corrections, decreasing volume. And basically the candles, the red candles, they drop as the price corrects. So maybe that was the first wave. Maybe we're in this kind of flat correction here, or running flat, as Satoshi said. Yep, the move ups are much slower. We went through this same phase twice last time, and every time came down. So this time there'll be much bigger time frame to allow consolidation. Right, and I think 98k is a big level. I don't know why my Trump pump point of control is up there now. Have I moved it? I'm a bit confused. It shouldn't be there. It's lower, isn't it? Or is that the range? Oh, it's lower, isn't it? Oh, okay. So we have the Trump pump. Oh, actually, it's lower. Huh? Look, it's actually lower. I've actually misdone that, huh? So let me just delete all of this. Or actually, I'll just put this here. EW continuation. Just hide that now. I'm gonna have to delete all my charts soon. So actually the value area has changed. Let me just kind of update this again. What am I It's actually lower. Look, see that? So the point of control is actually lower now, which is interesting because it was a bit higher. So that changes things a little bit, doesn't it? Why does that change things? Because before I had it roughly at the top of the bottom of the single print. So there's quite a good confluence for a rejection at 98k. But guess what's happened? The point of control has actually moved lower. So it's messed up the confluence at 98k, hasn't it? It's not as strong as it used to be. There was something else at 98k. So let me just have a look at my MPOX. We haven't hit them yet. So we've got MPOX and the single print for a reaction at 98k. But the point of control is lower. It's at 90 now. It's at 97.297. So we have to see what happens here, because if you reject there initially, you could actually come back to the point of control and find support. It's very different than when the point of control was slightly higher, because you could have got a big rejection and then there was no chance to find support. So this is actually promising. It's promising that the point of control has moved down a little bit. We're still underneath it, so it's still technically not bullish until we can flip it back into support, but it does give us a greater chance of crossing 98k now that the point of control is lower, and now that we've hit it already once or potentially twice. This gives us a little bit of chance now, a bigger chance to cross and to squeeze up, and that would be a squeeze. And I don't expect the range value area to hold as resistance, because you have the single prints. And so the way single prints works is if you get acceptance into the single prints, you'll fill them. It doesn't really matter what's in the way. It doesn't suddenly reject halfway into the single prints off the range value area high. It's not how it works. It doesn't matter what's in between the single prints. If you have a block of prints, zero volume, if you get into them, you just go up. It just squeezes up really fast. It's just how it works. Okay, so that's sometimes when you get these impulsive moves, it's because the single prints are filling. And what you'll actually get, you get single print traders. So it's actually a trade. Yeah, if you suddenly, you have to act really fast, because if you suddenly see the price closing and volume coming into the single prints, and you start seeing the price on the 30-minute time frame is the best time frame to see, but sometimes you have to go a bit lower. You suddenly see the price coming up like there, you could just long, and your target would be the top. That's a trade. And it goes up quite fast, so you have to take profit at the top. That's your trade. Basically, you're basically just trying to fill the gap. It's a scalp, really. It's a 2% scalp, maybe 1.5%, because you might catch it late. And then obviously the invalidation is to get in and then somehow, for whatever reasons you can't explain, lose the single prints. That nothing's impossible. That rarely happens. Okay. Usually when you get acceptance into the single prints, they fill very quickly. That's an impulsive move in itself, because it's quite a big block of single prints, and I don't expect this range value area high to offer resistance in that situation. And guess what, we fill the single prints, and we have to see what happens next. Because I don't know. I mean, it depends on the market, it depends on the sentiment, it depends on so many things. But I think the higher we go, the more bearish you should become. That doesn't mean short, it means don't forget to take profit. That's what it means. Don't just hold on to your longs expecting higher prices, because the higher we go, the higher the chance that we reject, isn't it? And don't forget, we've got a trend line here as well, which we haven't hit for the third time. Generally speaking, I hate trend lines, but when you have a really clean line like this with 2 points, all-time high to the next pivot before the price drop, this is a really clean trend line. Yeah, there's no doubting this trend line. There's no confusion with this trend line, is there? It's not subjective, really, is it? It's just the all-time high to the next pivot before it dropped. The next time it'll probably reject, huh? See that? This one as well did it here, kind of dropped. There's a trade there, huh? There's a potential trade there, but usually what it means is that actually people are taking profit. So if we hit that trend line, it'll be about 100k, wouldn't it? And I don't know, and that would kind of coincide with the single prints that I had. It depends. If we do it like today quickly, like that would be perfect. Like in the early hours of the next candle, if we just go up, that would be a good place to just take profit. It would look bearisher if that happened. Lower high, we get people a little bit bearish. Maybe that's where the impulsive wave ends, and then we're just going back to find new liquidity somewhere lower down, wait for a corrective pattern somewhere. We just have to see where it finds support potentially. I don't really expect us to just do that. It'd be very unusual, huh? But you'd have to get a lot of volume to push through, and that would be the key here. If you suddenly get a lot of volume pushed through, it'd be very, I don't know if I wouldn't be able to trade that. I would be taking profit. I wouldn't hold on to longs beyond 100k, to be honest with you. It's always possible, but you're still looking at swing failure. Then you'd have to, the problem with breaking a trend line like that is you have to find support on the back test. If you don't, you lose it, then this is actually really bearish. It becomes really bearish to go up and fake out swing failure there and lose it, and then you could actually fall right back down because you're not really creating any support as you impulse up, and you've got all these kind of fancy lines and levels like the point of control, but the reality is we're not really creating support now. It looks like we are, but we're not. And so if you do get an impulsive move and a big rejection, then that could be the end of the move, and then you could end up going much lower. It would scare the shit out of people, but if that's the end, it's the end, and then you're just looking for a correction. And sometimes people are thinking, well, it hasn't ended yet because I've only counted maybe 2 waves or 3 waves, but sometimes the last wave is like a blip. Do you know what I mean? And people discount the blip. They think, oh, sometimes that final 5th wave doesn't really look like a wave, but it is. It's like the final last impulsive move, and it's really quick. But if you zoom in, there are 5 waves. Yeah, people often expect the last 5th wave to be some kind of big mega wave. It usually never is. It usually is just a little blip. The big wave is the 3. So this is the big one, and it has to be big. And if it's smaller, then the 5 will be smaller because of the way the 1 has been big already. Yeah, so in this context, let's just say this was the 1 to there, and let's just say the 2, we've already begun the next wave, okay, with that impulsive move. So let me just kind of draw that. So that 618 is slightly above the single prints. Into this little range. There's a little range here. Look at the value area low. That could act as resistance at the 618. If that's the wave 1, and if you get 5 waves now, if this is the 1, then you get a 3 and you get a 5. That's wave 2 complete. Sorry, wave 3. That could be wave 3 complete. And then you get a pullback, and then you get your 5 here, and that's your wave complete. That's your wave 1. Yeah. And while people are expecting a big wave 5, it may come. It's always possible to get a nice big wave 5 and go up to the 1-to-1 like that. I'm not saying it's not possible. but you could also get an ABC here, and you can get 5 shitty waves, small waves, and then just fall down, and you've topped out here for completion. That's your wave 1, and actually the exit was the 618 at, based on this idea, it's about 101k. Yeah, if we can impulse through and cleanly get through the single prints to 100k or 100, or on the other side, it'll look really bullish. People will be going like, we're breaking out, we're going to the moon, this is it, 1 million Bitcoin, whatever. But if it's the end of wave 3 there, because you've counted 5 waves, it's better to take profit, look for a correction, and then if you want to compound, or you want to buy back in, and then if you get a shitty 5 with wave 5, exit there too, you know. But you could also get a massive impulsive wave 5 wave, and you actually, it's probably not just because if you do reject there, then it's a smaller 3, and actually the 5 is gonna, just based on Elliott wave rules, if you've got a small 3, then the 5 is going to be smaller. So actually you could end up with it probably will be a shitty 5. Yeah, what will be better in a context like this is a crazy 3. If you get a crazy 3, so we've like had the 1 here, potentially 1. Now this next wave has to be crazy. If we get like a crazy bam, impulse, and you actually find the price above the 618, like that, then maybe we do get a correction here and we go higher like that. That's kind of what more of what I would want to see. If that would make me think we're going higher if we get something more like that. But if we kind of reject off 100k, 101k thereabouts, fill the single print, and obviously if you reject off 98, then the whole thing is just poor, isn't it? You get like a little 5 wave here, back, another 5 wave here, like that. Then the price couldn't get into the single prints, rejected of 90k, 98k. I'm not sure I'm expecting this, to be honest with you. I think I'm expecting that we'll probably end up going to 100, 101, probably. That's what I'm thinking at the moment. But we have to see what happens with the move. Okay, I can't tell. I don't have a clue. Honestly, I don't know. We have to see what happens. All right, so that's kind of like, I'm just taking you through what I think could happen, down and up. At the moment, I'm just not interested in losing this pivot low, and I don't want us to swing failure off this pivot high. Okay. I don't really want that, to be honest with you. If we're going to go up, and then if we do go up, I want to see an impulsive move, at the very least take us to 101k, fill the single print. That would be a good place to take big profit, probably, and then see what happens, you know. Right, did that was that useful? I don't know if that was useful, but that's, I'm just kind of talking to myself as well a little bit, just kind of trying to work out what could happen. I like this consolidation here. It looks a bit like a triangle forming like a pennant of sorts. Isn't it? Little correction here. So, we get a breakout, smash through, squeeze these highs, and then next wave up to there, and then get acceptance, and then squeeze way up to there. Maybe be nice to see her. As long as the 3 is bigger than the 1, then the 5 can be bigger, and then maybe we can actually get everyone bullish and actually find resistance on the 618. It'll look like a breakout, but actually you're looking to come back down, and then maybe that completes this move. Again, it would look bearisher because it would look like you're putting in a lower high if we go up to that, up to there, and reject. which is good because the minute it becomes a lower high, people see that, they get really bearish, they start shorting, longs get trapped, they start selling, you get this kind of big zigzag deep correction. And maybe you find ourselves all the way back down at 92k, okay, or wherever. Maybe not 92k, actually, that's a bit too ambitious. Maybe we just come back down to test this neckline. It's happened before, when you just come back down to test the V-shaped recovery neckline like this, and actually that's where you want to find support. So you finish your first wave, you have a zigzag correction, it gets really bearish, people are like, let's sell, sell, sell. What actually ends up happening is you just come back to the neckline for a proper test like that, nice V-shaped recovery, come back to the neckline for a proper test. You've completed your wave one, and then bam, you go up, you smash through that area for the next wave. Potentially that's kind of like what could make sense in this context. The minutes time frame. Are you mad? I rarely look at the minutes time frame unless it's on the order flow. Let's have a look. Has Japan just opened? We're 30 minutes away from candle close. Has Japan just opened? Longs closing. There you go. There's your long closing. Minus 2.7 million dropping away. Yeah. There's bullish CVD here. You can see the CVD is lower. See that? It's gone lower. Higher lows, lower CVD. Bullish divergence. There's absorption here. I don't really think it matters. What matters is the daily candle close. That's what really matters, I think. I don't really care about Japan opening, to be honest with you. And actually, the session is the closed session. It's not the Asia session yet. So, just the way it's broken. Who cares about Japan? When you're looking at the sessions, we're still in Asia. We're still in the closed session. The Asia session doesn't begin until daily close. We've dropped underneath the point of control here, but it's a very tight value area on this closed session. That's the range. See that red bit? That's the range here. I don't think we're going to drop in just before the end of the day because we've had a tight range. This whole session has been basically an equilibrium. Look, equilibrium. So I think it's unlikely to drop just 30 minutes before the close. And I'm seeing bullish absorption, so I'm more interested in that. Much more interested in that. All right. Let's have a look at some other things. Maybe I wanted to look at a chart for someone. Who was it? Right at the beginning. Weifu. T13. Are you here? Still here? Please tell me you're here. Because if you're not, I might not look at it. Because I'm only doing it for you. He's not here, is he? T13. I'm here to T13. Come in. God, he's not here. You can't come and ask me for something and then bugger off. I'll have a look at it anyway. Don't know where I'm going to add it on my shitty list. Quick look. There we go. I don't know which one to look at. Gate. $100K. Actually, I think 100K before Trump, huh? I think, honestly, I think we're probably going to go have a crazy... I think we're probably going to all-time high before Trump's inauguration, probably. I'm really bullish on everything. Oh, it's terrible. It's a terrible chart. It's just too wicky. There's no volume, huh? Except it says trillion. Why do you say trillions? 13 billion. What the hell? 1.6 trillion. Can you imagine buying and selling trillions of tokens? Trillion. Look at that. 10 trillion tokens. Oh my god. Mental. Don't know. I have no idea. Is this too wiki for me? It's T13 if you come back. I don't like it. It's too many wicks. I hate it. Maybe it will go up. I think for a token like this, you just have to be patient. It looks good if you want to accumulate, huh? Because the lows are getting higher, the highs are getting lower. It's kind of tightening, isn't it? For a breakout. It could break out either way. It's above the point of control and the value, the higher the value area high. This kind of token is going to break out literally maybe 2 days, 1 weekend. There's going to be a crazy alt season. You'll get a little breakout, crazy breakout on this. It'll be like this. Then you sell. It'll come right back down like that. And that's your move. Probably. It's quite high, huh? 39,000. It might be a low volume rise. It would just be, it needs to have that kind of magic where the whole market for some reason starts the crazy market buy every single coin, and a token like this can actually go ooh, and then everyone who's accumulating here goes, oh my god, I'm rich, sell, and then it goes like this, and then it probably goes like that because it's probably just not enough volume. Waifu, yeah. Is that the one? I don't know. He's not here, so he can't tell me. All right, forget about that. That was enough time wasting. Let's have a look at ETH, because I'm interested in ETH a lot now. I've got my eyes on ETH. Oh, Slurf. Ali Hash is still here. Let's have a look at Slurf. Slurf has been doing quite well. It's been grinding up. I've actually changed my view on Slurf a little bit. Potentially. I think we have on Slurf, you have to see what, like, it's really tricky, yeah, because I was thinking maybe the impulsive move started there, and another 2 and the 3, and that was the 5. That Binance futures was the 5, and that was the end, and it just dropped. And I revised my analysis a few times. The problem I have with Slurf is this low, this must hold low. It went lower. Technically that invalidates this initial impulsive move, technically, which makes me think, because I don't really think it's bearish, I still think it's quite bullish. I think that wick was quite bullish because it was a big liquidity grab of all these lows all the way down to here and here. And you're getting a bullish reaction right now, yeah. This day, today, it's a really bullish day today, yeah. It's not a bullish engulfing, that would be more bullish, but this is a piercing. It's a bullish piercing candle. It's a really bullish candle, yeah. So it's as close as a bullish engulfing, but not. The next candle has to be green. This next candle has to be green, okay. It very similar to Bitcoin. When I said Bitcoin, it had a green piercing candle, didn't it? Had a green piercing candle. Let me open it here. Oh shit. and I said it had to be green, and it ended up red. And then it kind of went down, and it went up and down, and then like they can be quite bullish, but you need a green candle to follow, otherwise you end up with a red candle, and then actually the price actually doesn't want to go down. This is good. This is a piercing candle here, and then it ended up green and it went up. So with these piercing candles, they can be bullish, but the next candle has to be red. Not engulfing. Engulfing, it can be red, but with piercing candles you need it to be green. You need to follow with a green candle. Okay, it's really important to follow up a piercing candle with a green candle, right? Not a bullish engulfing. A bullish engulfing you can follow with a red candle and it can still go up, but when you have a piercing candle you need a green follow through. You need bullish follow through. Okay, so with this candle today, it looks like it wants to close as a piercing candle. Really nice close, because you're closing above this wick and this wick and even potentially this wick, so it's a really strong close. The volume is mediocre at best, so I'm not crazy about the volume. It doesn't give me the, it's not like a big buy. What I can see right now, it is impulsive. That's impulsive. This is impulsive. Maybe all of this is an impulsive kind of follow through. I don't know, it's hard to tell. Maybe that was the impulse. Maybe there was 5 waves there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And maybe this is like a correction, a flat correction right now that we're experiencing. So maybe we've had the first wave and we're in some kind of flat correction, and we could have another wave to the upside, which is kind of what I want to see, to see if this move continues. That being said, when I look at these waves, I'm actually in the mind to revise this a little bit. It's hard to tell, like, because if you've taken the low here and that was the beginning, then you've invalidated this bullish impulsive wave, and this is just gonna, this is the beginning. This is actually a wave 1, and it still has to go down, and then we have to have a wave 3, and you kind of have to reset the ideas. I'm actually thinking to myself, maybe we started here, to be honest with you. I'm kind of revising it a little bit. Hindsight is a beautiful thing, and maybe this was your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. I had this initially and I changed my mind, and I'm unchanging my mind, and I'm going back to what I originally had, like this. So I'm unchanging my mind. I'm going back to what, when I first started counting left, I actually had that as the first wave. This was the wave no, it doesn't work. Shit. That must be a corrective then. That must be a corrective. It's a really weird, huh? That would be a big corrective move. We see. It's kind of like this. Yeah, 100% now. I don't think that works either, does it? I don't know. I looked at the wrong one. Well, I don't know. This doesn't really work either, does it? Because that's where the volume comes in. If that's your wave 1, that's your 3. I got it. Now I understand what I was thinking. That's your 1. Could that be the 3? Could this be it? Could that have been your first wave there? Like that. For a 2? No. Could be. Let's just do this slightly differently. For a 3. And 4. I don't know if I'm reaching, to be honest with you. It's a tricky one because I don't like how we took the low here. 5. 5. 1. 2. Unless. No. Doesn't it right, does it? I'm a little bit stuck with Slurf, to be honest with you, when it comes to Elliott waves, because I don't like how we took the low. I might have to just start over and try and figure this out. It's going to take some time, so I'm not going to do it now because it's a bit depressing. Yeah? I think it's quite depressing that we took this low. It looks like we haven't, but we have. Huh? We had to hold that low, but we actually went lower. And then the other thing that bothers me about Slurf, there's a few things that bother me about Slurf, to be honest with you, right now. We're coming into the point of control now. We haven't hit it yet. We're back into the value area low, so that's good, but we haven't had a back test on it. But we're coming into the point of control. The point of control is actually flipped, so that's a good sign. That's a healthy sign. But we're also above these previous lows, so this is healthy in the sense that we might have held the held the value area low. What I don't like, I mean, look, this whole thing, look at this. This whole thing now is looking like a massive, gigantic head and shoulders pattern, isn't it? Look at that. We've gone down and now we're coming back into the point of control. And whatever happens, you want to flip the point of control into some kind of support. Look, every time, see that there and there. You can't just go up. It doesn't make any sense. What else doesn't make any sense is that we've taken this must hold low from that first impulsive move. Now, I was thinking maybe this was your wave 1. If that was your 2, that was your 3, then that 4, then that has to be a 5 then. And then what? Well, then that's your 3, 4, 5. That could work. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let me do this again. Maybe that could work. Hold on. Let me do this again. One. It can't work. Because you can't come underneath the 1. That's the problem. That's not your 1. This is your 1. To there. That works. Yes, that works. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's your 1. Then you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you have your final 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Basically in that candle. That's your last 5. Okay. And so you end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what I was thinking, yeah. There. And that's your wave 1. So there. And now that's better. That's a lot better. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't break the rules there because the 4 doesn't come into the 1, and you have a shitty 5 there. That's fine. That works. That completes your wave 1 there. Perfect. You have a correction down to here. Then you have a 1, 2, something like this. I'm not sure exactly where. Maybe to there. 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to the top. That completes your 3, all the way down here, 4, 5, ended. That's your wave 1, all the way up to that pivot. And now we're in 1, 2, through ABC, 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 whatever, ABC, ABC. Lots of ABCs. So ABC, 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 A, B, C. It's like a 5-wave downer. It's a really steep, like that. And it doesn't invalidate the move because that isn't the must hold level. It was actually the all-time low. That's your must hold level because that's where the wave began. Now that I've redrawn the count to there. All right, we've got 8 minutes to candle close. I'm going to go back to BTC in a second. Let me just kind of put this in a little group. New EW. We'll only know if this is correct if we start impulsing, to be honest, like really impulsing. And so what's that one? That was wrong. Let's get rid of these now. Let's get rid of all of these. What's that trend line? That's important. So as well. All right, let's go for the new EW. So to check these, I'm gonna do a trend-based fib to the 1, to the 2. The 5 ends at the 1 to 1, so that's okay. Here, see that kind of ends there on the 1 to 1. I can live with that. And then if we go from the low here to here, goes all the way to the 1 to 2. 1 to 2. Ends, look, the 5 ends at the 1 to 2. So here the 5 ends at the 1 to 1, here the 5 ends at the 1 to 2. So that's okay. I'm okay with all of these ratios, and the 1 to 1 is here, and that is where the 3 ends, and that's where it finds support. All of these ratios are good. So this is actually probably the most correct thing I've done in a while. Almost. It's thereabouts, so. So based on this idea, to the 3, to the 4, February. I don't know if this correction is over. I think the reason why I don't know if this correction is over, because you have this 5-wave move down. We're not seeing crazy impulse. It looks impulsive, but it's not like, it's more like, it could be more like this, a slow grind up, and it should be a crazy impulse. I do wonder if here actually, because we are coming to the point of control now, I do wonder if we do this ABC, ABC like this. To come down on February for the actual beginning of the move, where the next move would be here after we've broken out that line, and then we come back down. I think the reason why I'm in that mindset is because look at that down move. The momentum is really strong to the downside, isn't it? So you've got these local momentum. The local momentum is strong to the downside. Where is it? There, you see that? The 50 moving average here. Maybe we come in up and then one more down, and then flip the point of control back into support for an explosive move, into the point of control for an explosive move. If we go up now in an ABC type move, I don't know how impulsive this is. Look, coming into the point of control. It could just be like this. More shitty. Like that. Something like that. That's what I'm thinking at the moment, potentially. or we are impulsing and we just go up. What's the time now? 2 minutes to candle close. All right, this is a work in progress. I don't like the momentum. The momentum for me, the momentum is a massive problem. Yeah, and you see this daily 50 moving averages to the downside. Look at this midpoint of this daily Bollinger Band. It's miserably heading down, isn't it? It's heading down. So I'm not confident that we're just going to go through it. I think if a token wants to break out impulsively to the upside, it has to be above this kind of midpoint. So here, when you're looking at it here, not always, but you kind of want it to be like flattish, don't you? Not when it's like crazy coming down. When it's crazy coming down, it's hard to get to go up. On Slurf, I don't know. But we've come all the way down to the low. Basically everyone has sold. It's come all the way down to rock bottom now. See that? Look, when you're looking at the candles, you can tell, look, that's the bottom here, this red wick, this red wick, this red wick. These are the bottoms, and now we've come here, this red wick, we've come to the bottom. See that? So I would say that we've come to the bottom with that red wick. I think just looking at how these wicks are ascending here, see that? They're coming up, and we've come back to the bottom. This is the bottom, I think. It's found support, right back at support. This is a real big invalidation. If you suddenly go down there, then this is fucked. I think this is fucked, to be honest. It'd be really bad if it starts to go down again now. So actually what you need to do to get out of this is to go up, come down, to go up like that, like a maybe an inverse head and shoulders type pattern, like this, just like this. Break out. That line should break out because it's been hit 1, 2, 3, 4 times. 5th time should break, but you still come into this downtrend and come all the way back down to the point of control, value area, low area, for one more test, one more back down to this wick again, maybe to wick again there, and then go up at the beginning of February. For me, that makes a lot more sense than and then maybe this isn't, it might look impulsive, it might even be an impulsive move, the first impulsive wave. We have to see what happens. So the candles have closed now, so let's have a look at the daily candles. Go back to Bitcoin, have a look at the candle now, daily. Perfect, love it. I love the daily. It's a really strong daily candle. I'm really okay with that candle, to be honest with you. It's a really bullish continuation from the yesterday's strong candle that we had. As expected, we kind of expected that. Oh, the whale on BTC. What do you? I don't understand. Like, what do you mean in general or specifically to this exchange? I think it's a question that Altcoin Dreaming could easily answer, to be honest with you. He knows all this shit. What would you say? Right now, Bybit. Right, so here, let's go to the order flow. Have a look. Give me a second, I have to refresh this. It bugs out. So the volume is quite lower. Look, 5 minute, like 274, 739, 210. It's really low volume at the moment. These grey ones are the highest volume. You see these grey and these footprints? These grey ones are the highest volume. These are the 5 minute time frame. Basically, most of the volume is going to be New York session. See, there's a 13 million there. That's the big one, huh? 40 million. That was earlier on today. I think you mentioned, we talked about it. We're like, oh my God, look at that. You asked me, didn't you? You said, is this it? And I said, probably not. It's probably corrective. And it was probably corrective because it was sold into. It was actually a little bit of a squeeze. But in terms of volume, what I could use is these volume candles. They'll give you a better indication of the volume. 10 million volume. These are volume candles. So each candle represents 10 million volume. See, they're all even 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. We're getting absorption here. Look, see these volume candles. You can see the CVDs going down. So the volume's coming in, but the CVD's going down. So we're getting, for every 10 million volume, you see the price is going flat, and you see the CVDs going down. See that? That's why volume candles are useful to see the CVD. And now we're getting nice absorption on these volume candles. See that? So this is 10 million. Each candle is a 10 million volume. Not based on time, just based on volume. And you see the selling is being absorbed because the price is staying flat. It's quite flat right now. It's quite nice. And you can see the OI is dropping, so that's longs closing, and it's just being absorbed. And the OI is dropping, so we're not getting. I mean, you always get shorts in the range. So when I say there's no short, there's always shorts, but you're not getting like crazy shorts. There's shorts up here, the top. Right, let me have a look at this is a new session. It's the Asia session's just opened. We've opened above at the moment. The point of control is above the close session. What was it that you said it has to close above the point of control of the previous candle? So at the moment we are closing above the previous session points of control. Although London, New York was lower, and then I don't know if you can use that here, to be honest with you. Anyway, this is where we are. Yeah, there's absorption going on at the moment. We just have to see what happens. Amir was right. I think they are looking bullish. Yeah, I think they are. I like that daily close. It's a really strong close. It could always pull back. Like, that's the thing. People get excited and they start the market longing. But with these daily candles, it's not uncommon to go all the way back to the previous day high. The previous day high. The top of this. Test it. That will be 95,800, and then go up. So when you get these daily candles, it's not uncommon to go all the way down. Now, if you're getting big absorption, you may not go down. That's the caveat. Because, like I said, it's just cheaper to buy with limit orders. And so when people are bullish and they're trying to fill the positions, they place limit orders. They're trying to spend as little money as possible, and then they're filling their positions because they're bullish. They think the price is going up. But if you start getting a little bit of FOMO, where someone just wants to fill their position quickly, they'll just mark it long. They don't care because they think it's going to go up. Anyway, that's what happens. I like this. Huh? I like this actually. Let's have a look at ETH. Again, like I said, it's a piercing candle. Yeah. I think it's bullish because not only have we taken the liquidity from these lows, we've come above this low, and we're closing above these lows. We haven't managed. We've actually closed. If you zoom in a little bit, we've actually closed above this previous low here. See that? I think that's really bullish to close above all of these lows like that. Now this next candle has to be green. Has to be green. It can't be red. If it's red, I would close my positions. If it was red, I'm thinking it's going down. Then the next day is probably going down. So we just have to see how this today closes. I don't want it to be red. I want it to be green. I want it to be green because I want continued buying. And we just have to see what happens. It's going to take a bit of time. It could end up with a green doji, or it could end up with continuation. If it's a green doji, then probably the next candle will go up. And if it's just red, then probably the next candle is going to go down. So that's kind of how I'm gauging it at the moment. And it's based on probabilities. So you kind of want to stay in the high probability setups. So if it's red, it's a lower probability that it's going to go. It's a more higher probability that's going to go down. So you don't want to be longing if it's a higher probability that's going to go down. And so that's why today I want it to be green. And if Bitcoin is going to go up, it might go up. And if Bitcoin finds resistance, it might come back down. And I just want it to be green. And then the other problem is that if it's green and it goes up and closes lower, then that's also problematic. You also kind of, it depends, you kind of want it to close above the previous day high then in that circumstance. So if you go up all the way like there and come back down, not only do you want it now to be green, you also want it to close above the previous day high for continuation. If you want continuation, that is, you don't want it to go up and then come back down, be green but close lower either. So we have to see what happens. We have to see what happens. It's quite flat, huh? ETH is quite flat. But we are getting a little bit of bullish absorption here. You can see on the MACD it's going slightly lower and the price is slightly higher. So that's good to see. It's good to see there's a little bit of bullish absorption on the MACD. Look at the CCI. It's tricky. I mean, it looks like it could fall. It has to go up. We have to go up. We have to keep on going up. And it's really going to be down to Bitcoin, actually, if it goes up or not. I think right now, ETH is generally quite weak. Usually when Bitcoin is pumping, ETH will pump more. But right now, ETH is lagging Bitcoin. So the next time Bitcoin goes up, if you're in ETH positions, then probably best to close them, I would say, probably, or scale them back. That includes all of your altcoins. Probably good. So yeah, so based on your theory, it did close above the previous candle point of control. So it's quite bullish. Massive negative delta of the lows, shorts being trapped. Yeah. Big negative delta, lots of shorts have exited. And the price goes again. We force a close position buyers. Pretty good. I like your analysis, huh? Give you my money. You can trade for me and I can just retire. you do good job, huh? Don't need to trade, just altcoin dreaming. It's pretty good. But we are, Ian Snow, welcome. We are dreaming of a massive alt season. Honestly, I don't know. I'm scared of this this terrible momentum. I feel like we're going to get it if we can reject, if we can bounce here and go up. And then how far are we going to get? Basically all the way up to there, and that's it. That's our alt season. Up to there. I feel like that's it. I don't know if we're going to get a crazy alt season this time round. I don't know. I think that's what I'm thinking. Best case scenario is this now. I don't know if we're going to be able to get up like that. The momentum is down now, isn't it? Look at that. How'd you cross that? Look at this. Look at that. And even then it struggled. And that was all, see, this was it here. When it actually flipped and it flattened. That was all season. December 26th of December 2020. And look at that. Bam, bam, bam. I'm like thinking about it. How do we get past this 200 daily moving 3-day moving average? Or this daily moving average. Look at it. Look at it. I'm not confident, huh? I'm not confident about alt season at the moment. Bounce. I don't know. How do we get past that moving average? Does anyone have an idea? I wonder if this next bounce, February, maybe February, just 1 month of alt season and then that's it. We're out. Because I really don't know. I'm really not I'm not confident about ETH at the moment. I really feel like this bounce here should have been like that, so that at least we had a chance to kind of turn this a little bit and come back down and then kind of turn it, and then we could go up or something like that. I don't know, but I'm not feeling as confident as I was before, because we're right back at the lows again. That's weird, though, and it's taken so long. I wouldn't have minded if it was just like this and then up, but this is like taking too long. Let me have a look. XRP, you want me to have a look at that? I don't know. XRP, I think, is about to top out, personally. I saw someone post something about XRP, and I'm inclined to just, I think if you just, rather than ask me, because I don't really track it, it's not really on my radar, but if you look at Pro Traders Lounge, these guys, they're not always right, but they are good. No, who was it then? I was looking at XRP. I thought I saw it in theirs, but no. TL. That's it. Trader R. Must be him. This is it. Have a look at that. Oh, well done. You did a lot. Have a look at that. I'm inclined to just follow this guy, to be honest with you. I really have no idea about XRP because some people track it like crazy. This guy is a pretty good trader. So if he says that it's going to top out at 3.5, then I think it probably is. All right. Maybe that helps. Should go to 3. He's got it going up to 3.5. That's the area for rejection. 3 would just be this high, huh? Yeah. I think this guy's good, yeah. So if I would just go with this guy. I wouldn't. I'm not. I don't know about XRP. That's a tricky one. All right, let me just go to the what Altcoin Dreaming showed. Crypto cap, others against Bitcoin. Explain this chart to me. If it goes, I don't understand it. Let me try and figure it out. Okay, be kind of. So if it goes down, it's all season. If it goes up, no, it's Bitcoin season. Is that how it works? No, because I'm looking at the wrong candles. No, if it goes up, it's all season, and if it goes down, it's Bitcoin season. Really? Hmm. Hmm. Okay. All right, let's just go to this. This was the alt season. This was the crazy alt season. Right, I understand. Oh wow, okay. Okay, that helps, huh? I actually like it now. That's very useful. I'll keep it here. Let me do some analysis on this then. So based on this, the trend is actually to the upside, isn't it? The momentum, it's actually flattening out. Right, okay. Oh, I see, yeah. So that's your target, isn't it? Oh, that's nice, isn't it? Okay, yeah, yeah. Yeah, there is definitely going to be an alt season based on what I'm seeing here. It's the same idea of what I said before. The candle closed, took the low, couldn't close lower. Now we're going down and then feel the wick a little bit and then all the way up to the top of that candle at least. So that's a 41% increase against Bitcoin, just going up to there. That's the 50% mark. See that? That's the 50 fib on this scale. That's just taking us back to January 24. That's just getting us back to the March highs. To get all the way up to there, oh, okay. Maybe there's an ABC correction here actually. Just looking at it differently. Oh, it won't? Well, volume, yeah, not really. You mean this volume, huh? Okay. So forget about volume then. Let's just focus on the pattern. That's fine. It's good that you told me. Let's get rid of the volume so it doesn't confuse us. I'm still struggling to see alt season, actually. I think we have I think I think we have a couple of issues, to be honest with you. I think we've completed the 5-wave move on this higher time frame. That's what it looks like to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's your 5-wave move. And this is your correction, huh? So there is an up here, isn't there? There's a little up. The question is, does that begin a new move? Or is it just an ABC, ABC, ABC? That's the question. ABC, ABC, ABC. For a more prolonged correction to actually come down to here, which would make more sense. This makes more sense. If you're going to have such a prolonged move like that, it doesn't really make sense to now go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. I mean, it could, but this makes more sense. It's especially if you go up back up to the highs there. Now that would still send our altcoins to Valhalla because Bitcoin's valuation is so much more now. So it's like taking it back to the 2021 ratio, but with a higher valued Bitcoin. So for a lot of altcoins, that would be like 2x the last market in this kind of wave. But it wouldn't be a breakout. It would be right back to the top, and maybe not even to the top, to be honest with you. Golden pocket, that's your target, really. More than 50%. It depends, huh? We have to see how we attack it. If that's the low in, the low is in, right? Let's just say the low is in. Not convinced. Like that. But that's too long because this is the monthly time frame. We want to get to our target by March. Or April, February. And last week we had a poor candle close. It closed lower. Maybe we have a couple more weeks to struggle. And then up to that. Maybe in the higher time frame it can be bullish if we've bottomed out here. I think it's more like this. Now look, I'll explain it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That'd be perfect, huh? Yeah. Honestly, I think the 50% is better than the golden pocket. but it could overshoot. So it's a range, it's an area. But coming up to these equal highs makes more sense here. These equal highs there. For a bit more of a corrective pattern here, which corresponds better to this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a higher time frame wave, 5 wave move in altcoins, based on what you've shown me. And if we top out here and we just dump, everything goes shit with the world. Altcoins just have their one moment of glory, and then we just go down to 27. I mean, I don't know. I mean, who knows? You know, like what happens if there's something wrong in the world? Huh? Something cataclysmic, something catastrophic. Who knows? I mean, anyway, it doesn't really matter. We'll see, because this has to be based on what you're showing me. Yeah. These moves are really impulsive, huh? Look, they're really impulsive. You'll see it. We'll see the impulsiveness of these moves in these candles the minute they begin. This one was a bullish engulfing on the monthly, right? That was the beginning, right? That was January 21. And it just continued. We haven't had the continuation. We've got the bullish engulfing, but we haven't had the continuation. We've just had a rejection. That's what everyone was expecting, no? November, continue. We didn't get that, huh? So we're just pulling back now. Here, it's good, huh? But it creeps up again. It's 3 greens in a row. More green. Green. We're not getting that either. Again, quite bullish candles. They're all bullish, huh? Bullish follow through. That you need like bullish candles. We're not getting that at the moment. So maybe we're going to get it. So let me just put this here as an idea. We'll know anyway. We'll know by February, March, whenever that happens. Whenever, I think when Bitcoin top. The problem is that if Bitcoin tops at 125k, right? That's it, isn't it? If all season, if Bitcoin tops at 125 and Bitcoin starts to sell off, everyone thinks there's going to be a crazy alt season, but not if Bitcoin starts to sell off. There'll be an alt season if Bitcoin tries to go higher and higher, and it, like it was in the last bull market. There's going to be no alt season if you get a big sell-off and then Bitcoin slumps back to under 100k. That's a big concern, because you need ETH to pump. So that means Bitcoin has to keep on going up and up and up and up. Basically, you need Bitcoin to rally all the way up to like 250k for us to have a crazy alt season. So the question is going to be, does Bitcoin to do that or not? We don't know until it happens. Then we'll see. But right now, I think this looks quite good actually, but I mean, just because it closed higher, getting a little pullback into this wick. So we're at the right place to go up here, potentially. And actually this month could end green, we don't know. We could go up. Probably not. Red. It's a poor weekly candle. We kind of have to close higher than the previous week high to reverse this. So by this week we have to close higher here, and then we have a chance to get out of here. But I'm still thinking to myself, unless you're looking at this 200 moving average and assuming that the trend is going to continue, because what could happen is you go up and top out and reject and come back down there. Why do we need ETH to pump? I don't know, it's just the way it works. ETH pumps and then the rest of the cryptos pump. That's how it works. I don't know, it's just the way it is, isn't it? This is it, look, ETH pumped. That was the last market. ETH has to pump. Can't really tell anything from this, to be honest with you. It looks like it's just going sideways. This is more interesting. We'll have to, you know what needs to happen here, and this let's see, this doesn't look good. Let's try something else. I'm gonna get to bed soon. A bit tonight. So we had an all season from October, mini all season from October 23 through to March 24. That was a mini one, right? And this didn't go up, it just went sideways. And we had a little pump at the beginning of January 23. I remember that. So whenever this goes green, you get a pump on altcoins. Every time this goes green, you get a little pump, I think. And then the big pump is when it trends, when you get this kind of green, 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 like continuous green. And that went on all the way into April, and then at the beginning of May, and then it just started to. And it's weird because it. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. I'm not 100%. I just see that we've had 5 waves, and you've got your ABC corrective here, haven't you? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. That be it? 1, 2, 3. Let me see. And that one. I just have my original drawing. Hold on. See what that looks like. It's amazing, since the top of the last bull market to now, we've only had a 68% pullback. Let me just try and figure this out again. Hold on, let me just, I'm a little bit, I'm quite interested. Alright, how's it going? You good? Welcome. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's too, this is too crazy. But it could still be a flat like that. That, I mean, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I think realistically, just because of the way this has come down, that's your target, your top. Because look here, from 4 here, really the 3 was the target, wasn't it? The top of the 3 was the target. These circumstances are different. You can't compare it at the beginning to where we are now. And the top there is your target, your max. Because look, ABC, right? That's your top. That's the top of the last bull market. ABC. Okay. Where's the next ABC? A. How else would you draw it? Is that an ABC there? And there's an ABC there, and that's it. ABC to here. Is that an ABC here? That's what you're suggesting. It's possible. It's definitely possible. 1-to-1 on the C. That's your first impulse there. ABC correction now. Well, we'll know because you'll take the high, wouldn't you? If this is the wave 1 of a new wave, Why wouldn't you take the all-time high here? You would. That's then we'll know. You see 5 waves here. If we've already had the first wave, the next one has to be a big one all the way to the high. Then you get wave 1 there. And wave 5. That's your wave 1 of the next wave. Then you have another corrective, A, B, C. High or low here. Then you have your big 3. Then you have your next wave 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. That would work. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C correction. Wave 1 just takes us to the all-time high. That's it. Correction all the way back to put a high or low here. And then actually the next big wave is going to be the next market, not this market. For altcoins. So we're still only going to get to the high of this. That will be your target. But you do have to take out the high to put in a higher high, really. You don't want to put in a lower high. I think if you put in a lower high, then my idea of a zigzag here, yeah, maybe it'll be like this. It'll be more like this then. So it's kind of the question really here is, do you go up in 5 waves here and take the all-time high, or you go up in 3 waves and put in a lower high? And it looks like we've already had the first wave. So the next one will be correction like that. And then your target is basically a high or low here in that case for a corrective. And then if you don't take out the high, I think it'll be weird not to take out the high if this is an impulsive wave. If you don't take out the high, then you're putting in a high or low. It could just be a corrective ABC, and you could end up coming down lower here in this next pullback to take these lows. For me, this is more likely, to be honest with you. I don't know why. So you still get your bull market, but I don't think it's going to be as crazy as the last one, just from what I'm seeing. Unless you take the all-time high there, and you'd have to go up in a straight line. You'd have to just get greens like this. See that? Green, 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 green. And that came after a big dump. Let me have a look let me examine this. Look at these buying tails, capitulation, all these buying tails, and then it just went up and up and up. Buying tail, buying tail, all these buying tails. Don't really see any buying tails here, not many. Maybe 1 or 2 green ones. These ones actually, most of them started with red buying tails. Look, they're all red. Every single one started with a red buying tail. Yeah. Red, red, red buying tails. Red and then green. Red and then green, there it is. It's those two. All right. I'm going to go to bed, to be honest. What time is it? It's 1 p.m. Let's just have a look at Bitcoin. This is interesting. I'm quite interested by that, so I'm going to have a keep on looking at that. See if I can get an edge in the future. Looks like it's going up, huh? Just trying to push up. So charts. There's your bearish CVD now. Getting some bearish CVD. Yeah. I'll go back to daily open for a test. Don't like that. Hasn't taken the high though. Still putting a lower high, which is good. I think it would have been problematic if we took out the high though. That top high. So just a little lower high. There's some selling into that. So as long as we get bullish CVD in the lows, then it's okay. And right now we're getting a little bit of bearish CVD here. Look. See that? Price is being absorbed. It would be good if we get a big squeeze now, huh? If that was just leading. You just need more volume now to push through. You need a lot more volume than that, mate. You need some big volume now to push through. That's how you get your squeeze. If you can actually put in a higher high now. I'm getting some bearish CVD there. Maybe it has to go down one more time for an impulsive move to the upside. What's it like on ETH? Yeah, ETH isn't going up. I don't know if it's ready to go yet. Right guys, I think I'm going to go to bed. Getting a little bit of bearish CVD here, so I'm not sure if it's ready to go up yet. It's good that we put a lower high, because we could squeeze those shorts if we come back right now. Unless we push through and squeeze them. I'm going to go to bed. I'm pretty exhausted. Thanks for streaming. I mean, join me. I think it's a bullish daily candle, but right now we're getting a little bit of selling. So just be aware of that. This is not bullish. The only way it would be bullish if we took out that high there. So have a good night, and then just keep on chatting Discord. Whatever. Thanks, guys. See you.